China is stepping into a weapons supply breach in parts of Africa's Sahel as authorities in the region cut ties with former colonial power France and Russia and struggles to replace its depleted stocks. The buyers included Burkina Faso's military junta, which took delivery of 116 infantry carriers and 6 assault vehicles from China in 2024 alone, according to data from Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. China seems to be filling a void in Burkina Faso that has been left by its Western counterparts. And in today's video, we'll talk about how Ibrahim Traore and China has partnered against the Western forces to drive out the influence of the Western jihadist groups in Burkina Faso. If you are new to the channel, consider clicking the red subscribe button and turning on the notification icon so you don't miss out on our future videos. By contrast, France's last delivery, 6 Bastion armored vehicles, arrived in 2019 to 2020, while the US supplied only engines in 2021. Observers say Burkina Faso's growing interest in Chinese weaponry is driven by the need to diversify security partners, following the deterioration of relations with France and the United States. In 2022, Ibrahim Traore mounted a coup, which saw French troops expelled from the West African nation as part of the broader collapse of Operation Barkhane, Paris' counter-terrorism mission in the Sahel. At the same time, Russia, which has been a top supplier of arms to many West African countries such as Mali, has been slowed down by the war in Ukraine. This has allowed Beijing to expand its military footprint in the region, with China's largest weapons manufacturer, China North Industries Group Corporation, on Orinko's growing its presence in West Africa through sales offices in Nigeria and Senegal. As recently as January this year, Burkina Faso received a large quantity of Chinese-made armored vehicles from Norinco. David Shim, a China-Africa specialist and professor at George Washington University's Elliott School of International Affairs, said France had lost market share in countries such as Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso as a result of strained relations. Mali and Niger severed long-standing security ties with France after military coups, and the junta in Niger also cut military ties with the US, which had been involved in counter-terrorism operations. The presence of Russia's paramilitary Wagner Group and Africa Corps in the region had also played a role. But since the beginning of the war in Ukraine, Russia has decreed its arms transfer to sub-Saharan Africa, and China has taken advantage of this situation and moved ahead of Russia, Shin said. China will increase market share because it offers a large variety of weapons and reasonable quality at low prices and has important economic relations with many African countries, Shin said. Like Russia, China offers affordable, rapidly deliverable equipment well suitable to the counter-insurgency needs of places such as Mali and Burkina Faso, without demanding reform or human rights commitments. According to Eladia Carazo, a senior researcher at Peace Research Institute, Oslo, Carazo said that as relations with the West became more strained, the Sahelian countries were seeking defense partners who don't normally impose political conditions. Their presence also aligns with a broader geopolitical effort on the part of China and Russia to fill the vacuum left by a retreating Western military footprint. If you are still watching us, make sure you click the red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on future important videos from this particular YouTube channel. Going on, Leslot Odegaard, a senior fellow at Hudson Institute, said China has steadily expanded its military footprint in Africa by pairing economic influence with arms exports to become a top supplier for West African nations. For example, in September, the junta in Mali, where China's Ganfeng Lithium has a lithium processing plant, signed a deal with Norinco for military equipment, training, and technology transfer in key areas of defense to bolster its fight against terrorism. Likewise, China wants to deepen its military ties with Niger, where Chinese firms have vast oil interests, while others are eyeing uranium. Russia alongside China, is the largest arms supplier to West Africa, she said, noting Moscow's role in propping up governments against insurgents and coups. China can fill gaps where Russia is running short of supplies as a result of its war, such as supplying fighter jets instead of Russia, she said. Nigeria's 2019 deal with Norinco to combat Boko Haram and talks on local arms production highlighted Beijing's growing leverage. But while Beijing will avoid undercutting Moscow to preserve their partnership, Norinco's expansion into Francophone Africa alleged both French and Russian influence, she said. Meanwhile, Nigeria is seeking to boost domestic defense capacity, a shift China is well positioned to support through technology transfer and industrial investment, according to Caruza. A lot has been going on in the African and this dynamic sphere with its relationship with China, as China has planned a lot of other projects in Africa, not just for its arms supply, but for its economic development, as opposed to other countries which just come from their mineral resources. Although China needs its fuel power for its breakneck economic growth. At a time when Burkina Faso is at a turning point in its relationship with international partners, China is lending 30 billion francs, about 45.7 million euros, to support the country's energy policy. The concessional loan agreement was signed in September 2023 between the government of Burkina Faso and the Export-Import Bank of China. The agreement has just been validated by the Transitional Legislative Assembly, made up of 21 deputies. The project, already approved by the Council of Ministers on 9th of February 2024, chaired by Head of State Ibrahim Traore, involves the construction of a 25 megawatt plant or solar power plant on the site of Donsin Airport, located in the Council of Lumbia in central Burkina Faso. The park will be equipped with a 5 megawatt 20 MWh battery electricity storage system. With this project, Burkina Faso's Ministry of Energy, Mines and Quarries aims to ensure energy security at Donsin Airport while increasing the country's generating capacity, which currently stands at 114.4 megawatts. Of this available capacity, 220 megawatts is imported. By 2023, the Burkina Faso National Electricity Company, Sonabel, was counting on importing 300 megawatts from Ivory Coast and Ghana to meet electricity demand. Burkina Faso is one of the largest producers of solar energy on the West African grid, with an installed capacity of 92 megawatt power ahead of its neighbors in the sub-region, notably Mauritania, Ivory Coast, and Mali. The Donsin solar power plant, which will take 15 months to build, will boost Burkina Faso's energy self-sufficiency. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like to this channel and also subscribe as well so you don't miss out on our future videos on Ibrahim Traore and the Chinese forces, and also on other countries trying to take advantage in the African ecosphere. And until then, I'll see you in my very next video.